It says that Dwarka had 900,000 royal palaces, all constructed with crystal and silver and decorated with emeralds. The city was connected by an elaborate system of boulevards, roads, marketplaces, assembly houses, and temples. Welcome back to the Blissful Athlete, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I had a really good question the other day from somebody asking me, they're trying to understand, is Nithyananda reviving an already existing civilization, so a civilization that used to exist thousands of years ago, or is he creating a new one? And so just to give some context for those of you who do not know who Nithyananda is, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, that is my guru, and he is reviving an ancient civilization through the first Hindu nation known as Shri Kailasa. Now, if you're new to all this, this could be a little bit confusing, but basically all you need to understand is that, yes, there was an ancient civilization that existed thousands of years ago, and human beings lived in an enlightened civilization. So we weren't always fixated on ego identity. We weren't fixated on materialistic things. We were very much centered on spirituality, consciousness, and expanding our being and living in the planet harmoniously amongst one another and the nature around us. There actually used to be 56 Hindu nations in existence. Today there are 0. And so a part of my guru's mission is to revive a Hindu nation again. Even India is not considered as a Hindu nation. And Hinduism, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, is the way of being for any human being. It is the possibility for us to live and express enlightenment, to live in a society that supports you self-realizing. It doesn't necessarily block out people from living a materialistic life. There's actually nothing wrong with that in Sanatana Hindu Dharma. However, right now in society, we do not have a community that is supportive of you achieving the ultimate moksha, liberation, outside of a few pockets of ashrams throughout India and a few other places in the world. And one thing I wanted to show is that Lord Krishna, the main character of the Bhagavad Gita, he is God reincarnated. He is an avatar. He's not just a guru, he is an avatar of the divine himself. This is an underwater settlement that was discovered in the early 2000s, I believe. And as it says here, according to ancient Hindu texts, Dwarka was a skirmish ground for Krishna. And in this city, it was attacked actually by King Salva. King Salva had a flying machine actually and attacked the city with a technology that we still can't really comprehend today. And even Krishna, he responds with shooting arrows that, again, with a technology that we can't really understand today. But in the Mahabharata, it says that Dwarka had 900,000 royal palaces, all constructed with crystal and silver and decorated with emeralds. The city was connected by an elaborate system of boulevards, roads, marketplaces, assembly houses, and temples. And the marine archaeology exploration actually discovered a lot of different artifacts. We can now understand and prove that this city was built with technology that we still can't understand today, and yet it's buried beneath the depths of the sea. And the other interesting thing is that what you find, the artifacts in the city of Dwarka, they are able to carbon date and prove that these artifacts are coming from thousands of years ago, some as far as 9500 BCE. In the exploration, they yielded structures such as bastions, walls, pillars, and triangular rectangular stone anchors. Seals that had inscriptions which had been dated back to 1500 BCE, pottery which was dated back to beyond 3500 BC, stone sculptures. They also found a piece of wood that was carbon dated to 9500 years. Artifacts were sent for dating at the laboratories of Manipur University and Oxford University and were concluded to be 9,000 years old. So the mainstream, this is something that is obviously not well known. However, It is a city that existed. And if you look based on the correlation between the excavated structures and artifacts with the description of Dwarka, it is more than reasonable to conclude that the excavated site near Bet Dwarka is indeed the legendary city of Dwarka. So Hinduism is not mythology, it is real, and Bhagavan Nithyananda is reviving this ancient way of life, this science, this Sanatana Hindu Dharma. He is so integrated to Hinduism itself, and he is seen as a threat to those that don't want to revive this enlightened civilization. This is the conspiracy against your enlightenment. The fact that they are hiding this city, that they're hiding this understanding, these teachings. They don't teach us anywhere in mainstream schooling systems, education. It's taught to be as a myth. And when these cities are discovered, it's kept quiet. What Bhagavan Nithyananda is doing is he's reviving all of these different sciences. And it's not just the science of yoga. One of the most interesting is the science of Vimana. The Veda Shastra is where the flying objects come into play. So in the Mahabharata, Krishna's city is attacked by a flying object. It is seen as a UFO, and even today, the Ancient Aliens series, they talk about these flying UFOs. Those weren't necessarily just UFOs. That's a technology that was already in existence, that human beings had discovered and created thousands of years ago, and today we are being limited to the amount of technology that we can use, and today this is something that could be revived. So ultimately, Vimana, or the Vimana Shastra, is the science of aeronautics. So even the science of aeronautics, there's different shastras, meaning there's scriptural texts that teach you how to create flying objects, which is what you can see here. Now, it's not my expertise to revive aeronautics and flying objects. And so what Shri Kailasa is about, it's a borderless nation, and anybody that wants to contribute to the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the revival of the enlightened civilization which already existed, can contribute. They can volunteer. You can sign up and make this revival happen, because we are meant to express higher states of consciousness. We are meant to live happier, more joyful, more enlightened lives. And so that's what Shri Kailasa is really all about. It's authentic Hinduism revived, not from what is mythology, but from what is fact, what is truth. And so if you are interested in any way in contributing your time, treasure, and talent towards reviving an enlightened civilization, that's what Shri Kailasa is. And I'll even put a link down in the description where you can either sign up to volunteer or donate, however you would like. Ultimately, what Bhagavan Nithyananda is doing is reviving this incredible way of life. And yes, he is being attacked for doing this. The powers that be do not want us to live this higher state of consciousness. They want us to be focused on ourselves and focused on the ego identity, focused on things that do not serve our higher purpose, keeping us in a low negative frequency, when in reality we are much more powerful beings than that. We are the divine itself. We just need to step into it, embrace it, and radiate it as much as we can. And the best way to do that was a science that was already gifted to us thousands of years ago, which is the science of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. The more that you live and you become integrated to not just yoga, but all the different dimensions of Hinduism, the more you become empowered, and the more that you help contribute to the elevation of human consciousness. If you want to learn more information, again, I'll put the link in the description down below. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. It'll help other people find the content as well. Also, you can subscribe and hit the bell icons for some more authentic yoga teachings. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. My name is Sri Nithyananda, and as always, be blissful, Nithyananda.